Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I'm working on another BMW 1 Series, but I'm doing something a little bit different. As some of you might have seen from one of my previous videos, actually one of my best performing videos as of late, it's getting quite good views and stuff like that recently. I discussed the different types of ambient lighting available, and there's one specific type that I haven't properly installed on the vehicle, whereas this car is getting that done, and that is the acrylic style ambient lighting. So I've done loads of fiber optic ones, done the LED bead, LED Symphony, but I haven't fully shown off the acrylic. So in this video, I'm basically going to show you guys the installation of that, the finished results, and kind of discuss a little bit more about it, and basically give you guys as much information as I can so you all know exactly what it's like. So without further ado, let's jump into the install. Yes, as I jump into tackling this car, I just want to say, if you're interested in this kind of content, consider subscribing. Check out my channel after you've watched this video, because there's lots of car content on here, like this, and this, and this. So yeah, let's jump into actually working on this car. So I guess one of the first things that I need to quickly run through is, actually, you have to dismantle the car. So that includes removing the door cards and all the center interior pieces. So I've got a lot of it already out, just literally finishing up with the last few things. I've done the other doors already. This is the final door to take off. Real quickly, screw in behind here, one there, one here, and then two at the bottom. That will allow you to use trim removal piece to pull off the door card and just disconnect everything behind it. I'm going to quickly do that here, put it up so we can actually look through what it takes to actually install the ambient lighting into the door cards. Now, I do go through the exact removal process of all of this in a lot more detail in another video, so I'll link to that in the description down below. So here's what you need to do. You need to drill a small hole just in this corner. So that will allow you to feed the strip through around this gap. You can then press it in. I've added a little bit of double-sided tape into the corners here and here, and then just cut it off at the bottom, and now you've got the whole strip going all the way across. Now on this side, I am going to cut this down a little bit. It doesn't need to be so long, so I'm going to cut it about here, so when it's put in, it'll just be sitting here nicely. And I add a little bit of hot glue to hold this in. There is another little like a rubber strip that comes with this, but I prefer using hot glue because it just makes sure it's properly stuck in there. I've got my T connectors connected up here, and that is the module basically set up inside of the door. Now this car does have the ambient lighting connected to it, but I've tapped in to the window light switch. The grey and red is live and the brown is earth. Reason why I've done that is because not all of you will have ambient lighting on the front doors, so this just makes it nice and unison. Just connect to that and that will work for all of the doors. So that's what we've done here. Here is basically the center console section. We've got the cigarette live and earth. The live from that is being used to power the footwells, and the live from the grey and red wire here is being used as a command light for the main module, which is also in here, just tucked in at the moment. The earth point for both of those is used from the cigarette light to earth. Now I've run a wire across up for a light bead to come out from here, and another one will be coming out from the other side, which is ran under, through, and across and up, and that will go into that corner just there. You can see the light dangling already. So now it's just a matter of basically getting the light to come across and putting all the wiring into the right places that they need to go to, and put the footwells into the right places, which is why these have been dropped down. A lot more detail of all of this part is on the other video, but this is just kind of showing you guys just a quick brief overview of installing it all. So yeah, let's go. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention is a little hole is drilled in here in the corner, as just to be allowing this to sit nicely, and you know, still allow the trim panel to go over the top. But that is basically what I've done here. So up next is going to be putting this panel back, cutting this down to size, and using the leftover piece for the other part, and yeah, then it's all done. So everyone, finished up the car and it looks pretty awesome. I don't think the videos are doing it justice at the moment. It's a little bit bright right now, which is why I'm not able to get it in a pitch black kind of a setting or anything like that. But whoa, trust me when I say it, this looks awesome. So I've got it set up at the moment where it's going through all the colors, but when you actually look at the acrylic strip, it's so much more like the OEM cars, like the OEM BMWs and stuff like that. It's like a perfect bead, and it's not overly bright. It's bright enough where in the night it will nicely glow like it is right now, but in the daytime it'll basically be turned off because I've set this up with the automatic headlights. So when the car thinks it's dark enough, it'll automatically turn on. So at the moment the ignition's off, so I'm just doing it with the manual switch, and you can see just how it looks in the rear as well. And we've got the rear footwells done. So that's the complete car. It is such a cleaner and more OEM glow. It's hard to explain. You'd have to see this in person. You really will. So everyone, that's the car all completed, and honestly I'm quite impressed with how the acrylic kit looks. It's definitely like 1,000,000% more like an OEM finish. It's got that little sleek amount of light coming through it, where it's not overpowering, but at the same time it's not too dim. So it really reminds me more like the G series, 5 series, and the 3 series and 7 series, just the newer ones of those. I feel like Mercedes still use more like a glow effect with their ambient lighting, so it's more like lighting behind a panel or something like that. Whereas this is more like a BMW style with the actual acrylic lines going all the way across. It's very similar to installing a fiber optic kit. There's slight limitations with it compared to the fiber optic, which is the fiber optic kit comes with a whole reel of fiber optic. This is more like a few strips. The material is a little bit harder, so it's definitely not as easy to install, in a sense of you have to actually make sure when you cut it, you've cut it where you want it to be, and you don't basically try to risk much in that regards. But other than that, it's very similar to that kind of an install. This is set up so that it automatically turns on with the headlights and then turns off as well. These kits are available to use on pretty much any car. As long as you've got a 12-volt live and earth going to all the modules, it will all work fine. So it's definitely a universal kit, and a link for it will be in the description down below. I will do a video in the near future just recapping the differences between all of the different types of ambient lighting kits, because they've all actually been installed on this BMW 1 Series. Not this specific one, but just F20 1 Series in general. So I'm going to kind of do a little recap of that, just discussing it all, showing videos of each one, and kind of give a little nice overview, so everyone has a real example of how these look, because this looks completely different now than it does on a desk, or you know, trying to see it in a normal setting or anything like that. When it's actually in a car, it looks completely different. Really nice subtle glow, but it's still unison, it's still nice. You know, in the video at the moment, it does kind of show that it's a little bit brighter in certain areas, but it's not really like that in person. It's just hard to capture it on a camera when you're in a dark setting, and what you're trying to capture is actually the light color. It's quite a challenge to record, and I don't have the right camera set up for that just yet to get the perfect shots that I want. And of course, if you are interested in getting an install done, I'll leave all the information down below on how to get in touch with me. There will be a website coming out soon which will make the booking in process a lot simpler. But yeah everyone, that's a wrap to this video. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you did, thumbs up would be much appreciated. Subscribing to the channel is always going to be good, because there's a lot of car content on the channel. As I mentioned before, links for everything will be in the description down below. But for now everyone, I'll see you all in a future video. Peace out. Bye.